What's up, y'all? We back at it again. Exaggeration Experience. JG in the building. AB in the building. UFC 242 recap. Let's break it on down. The main event. Dustin the Diamond Poirier. The Eagle. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Give me your thoughts, your feelings. What's the deal?
Black diamonds and pearls.
I don't know what that means, but I like it.
Listen, man, that dude got beat up. Look, it's we people that are not casuals knew what was gonna happen. Look, man, you can't show up unless you have an answer for this dude's wrestling, right? The whole week throughout, Dustin kept dropping these little subliminals. Don't go for my legs, or and he's one-dimensional. And look, the only problem with being one-dimensional is if it doesn't work. Yep. Exactly. The only problem with it is if it doesn't work. Then you have a problem being one-dimensional. He could take him down whenever he felt like it. My man had the deep guillotine in there. It looked good for a while. We all knew that wasn't gonna work. And his stand-up, he didn't really get to exhibit his stand-up because
exactly, that's the
he's not gonna let you. And so I thought what was gonna happen happened. What did I say? Fourth round?
I don't know if you gave it a round. I had to be by mauling. That's what happened.
I said submission, fourth round. If I remember,
my man brings up a great point.
Pull that up. Go ahead.
I guess it's different when you're in there. You're in the moment. You think about all the things that you worked on in the gym. But the thing that I looked at is he was so concerned with the takedown. He didn't even try to execute the boxing. He has some of the best boxing in the UFC, which we alluded to in the previous video. If it's me, this late in the game, this many fights in, you know what Khabib's gonna do? I'm just gonna bring my best shit. I'm trying to throw hands. I'm trying to throw a couple uppercuts, cut angles, do things like that. That's what I'm focused on. I'm not really focused on, I'm going to get taken down. That's what's going to happen. So while I'm on my feet, because all fights start on the feet, I'm trying to put hands on you. And I feel like he didn't do a good job of that overall. And Khabib did Khabib things. Took him down, embarrassed him, beat him in the face, and choked. I've never seen someone get choked out with a choke. It's so deep.
So deep.
My man was like he wasn't even out, but fuck, man, his eyes about to come out of his head and shit. That was devastating. So shout out to the Eagle, Khabib Nurmagomedov. We're gonna get into what's next after we cover this bout, Paul Felder versus Edson Barboza, and an exciting back and forth bout. I actually did score for Paul Felder. I know it was a razor thin fight. What are your thoughts?
It could have went either way. People call it controversial. I'm not too sure. I could see an argument for both sides. Giving it to Felder kind of makes sense. I feel like he was more aware of the points and each strike and the significance of each strike, whereas Edson was just trying to win the fight. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I could see you giving it to Felder. That makes sense.
Once again, dope fight. That's the second time they fought. The first fight was a close one, but I think was appropriately scored for Barboza. They ran it back. I commend both of them for that because no one fights tough guys anymore. We try to fight fucking
Edson doesn't care. Like they throw him to everyone.
Murderers row. You could sprinkle that on Paul Felder. He's had some tough. Well, I don't know about the James Vick fight, but he's had some tough bouts. Exciting fight. People are talking about them doing it again. Paul Felder obviously has options, so let's see what happens next. Now, quick, I need to clean up a mistake I made. I said that Curtis Blades was going to lose simply because the individual was from another country where they don't have gyms, just boulders and
savages
and rocks, and they fight bears and shit like that. Yeah, Curtis Blades whooped that ass. Shout out you. You doing your thing. You know what? This is how I feel about Curtis Blades, though. He's in a position or the situation where he's so good, he can beat every single person below him. No one can fuck with him.
You don't think he beat Stipe?
But the people at the top, I don't know if he's there. I mean, he's dominant. He's a dominant wrestling heavyweight. He definitely did his thing. He beat it. The dude said in the interview before the fight, he's excellent at his takedowns. But what else can he do? Well, he beat your ass, so there you go. Stop talking about what I'm good at and stop that shit. How about that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that
he punches hard, but what more is there to fighting?
Like he sound like a Bond villain, bro.
That's how he looked with that shiny ass beard he had. I was like, shit.
As far as Blades is concerned, I think his wrestling can affect Stipe. The only person I would avoid if I'm him is Ngannou, because one swing, your neck's decapitated from the rest of your body.
That isn't even real. So that's how bad it is.
Stay away from that guy. But everyone else, I feel like he has a shot with that wrestling. Listen, I'm all for wrestlers. If I hear a person has a wrestling background in MMA, I'm kind of nervous, because if you look at most of our champions, they've all been wrestlers. Khabib's got the wrestling background, with the exception of John Jones, who wrestles at a high level, but he doesn't have that wrestling background.
Yeah.
Khabib, DC, what's his name? Tyron Woodley was for a while. He was a champion. Cejudo.
Even Usman does have.
Usman is a man. So wrestlers kind of run things because all they have to learn is striking. And being someone who's been in combat, wouldn't you say striking is kind of easier to pick up than the nuances of wrestling?
I think wrestling hardens you in a way that striking only doesn't. I think that's a fair assessment. As far as the nuance in striking, is so difficult. I think these guys learn the basics, and then execute the basics to set up the wrestling. You can look at a case like a Rashad Evans, who was a tremendous wrestler, fell in love with the knockout, got away from his bread and butter, and it cost him, the latter part of his career because the dude was an exceptional wrestler. He broke in, won the Ultimate Fighter at heavyweight, and then started knocking people out.
Heavyweight.
At heavyweight.
Rashad Evans.
Yeah, he won the Ultimate Fighter at heavyweight. Yeah, and he dropped down to 205 where he won his title, but he started head kicking people and knocked out like 2 people in a row. He said, I'm a knockout artist.
Damn.
That wrestling shit is where it's at. Fuck it. Shout out Cauliflower here.
But yeah, man, besides that, you had something you wanted to.
Yeah, so going back to Khabib versus Dustin. That fight happened. Dustin was an interim champ coming off a victory against Max Holloway. All stand up, but it doesn't matter. Exciting fight. He won his title. He felt good about it. He goes in. He fights Khabib Nurmagomedov. He takes a L, gets subbed, and then the conversation starts. Who does Khabib fight next? Tony Ferguson? Does he fight fucking Paul Felder? All these names come up, but here's the name that's coming up that's starting to piss me off.
I already know, yeah.
Why are we still talking about Conor McGregor, a dude that's not even active? He's not even fighting people. Why does this shit keep coming up? And Dana put out a poll. If I see the UFC verified account, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the case may be, the little blue check mark, and you put a poll out that says, who would you like to see Khabib fight next? And it's Tony Ferguson,
stupid,
fucking GSP, or Conor McGregor. What? Stop it. Stop trying to force this narrative. Conor, it's a wrap for Conor, and the thing of it is, it's gonna sell. It's gonna do its thing. I don't think it'll outdo. There was 2 events recently that did really well. I can't remember off top, but people are gonna buy it. But no, we don't believe that fight. I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings for that one. I'm not buying that at the house. Because the thing of it is, the outcome is not going to be any different than it was. Quite honestly, it'll probably be worse.
Yeah, I feel like
Conor will catch that ass whooping extra worse.
Yeah, because now he's got the confidence behind it to know, hey, I can just do whatever I want to. I'm not worried about it. I agree with you, but I think you answered your first question with your latter statement. They know it's going to make money. And at the end of the day, that's the reason we have 19 different interim belts flying around. Because there's money. They can't even have a main event without having a belt on the line, which I think is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Agreed.
Even the Nate Diaz and Masvidal, I'm hearing, seriously, that they're going to event a fake belt for that. A BMF.
Shout out.
The baddest mother on the planet belt.
That's the dumbest mother on the planet belt.
Right. It's like, dude, you can have a main event. You don't need to have a belt. Like, it's okay. So, I agree.
Shout out Snapchat.
I think the rest of us know, the non-casuals, the people that actually love to watch UFC from whatever, we know that Conor McGregor is not a threat. And he doesn't, forget about him not being a threat. He doesn't deserve a shot, honestly.
It does not. Active, they fight
Tony
every
Ferguson
week,
deserves the shot. And if you even want to take it there, I feel like someone like Edson Barbosa deserves a shot because he fights whoever the heck you put in front of him. He's always there, no issues, no complaints.
Yeah, he already got beat up by Khabib, though.
I'm just saying, give someone else, give Al Quinta a rematch.
He got beat up by Cowboys for me.
Give freaking Cerrone, if you're so interested in big paydays, Cerrone's a big payday. He makes good money.
He's about to get beat up by Justin Gaethje.
Whatever. All I'm saying is there's plenty of people out there that you can have fight Khabib.
He said whatever.
That's all I'm saying. You don't need this guy.
I agree 100%.
In he had 2 belts and he didn't defend them for. There was a crazy statistic: 564 days he didn't defend.
No defenses.
Like nothing. He just held the divisions both hostage, and they were okay with that. And that's the guy you want to bring back.
Conor McGregor has the same amount of title defenses as Khabib Nurmagomedov has losses. So there you go. We gonna get out of here. UFC 242 in the books. Shout out UAE, Abu Dhabi. Tremendous event. The card was actually dope from top to bottom. A lot of exciting fights.
Oh, and then real quick, they released the P4P pound for pound rankings.
John Jones won.
To Khabib's dismay, he's not number 1.
He's 2.
He's still number 2. Yeah, so that was a big issue going on. He was vouching for that number 1 spot. He thinks he deserves it. You can see him make his argument there. John Jones probably just fought more dangerous people, honestly. So yeah, that was a big news as well. But pretty much that wraps it up for what we got. Don't forget, like, subscribe. We got your UFC needs. Let us know.
Bell icon for notification. This is your boy
E&E.
BG.
AB.
In the building, and we out.